Hey guys, it's Scott from Horse Racing Daily, and today's video is going to be on the Arlington Million Stakes this Saturday at Churchill. And naturally, when you have a purse of $1 million, you're going to draw some big boys out to the race. You got Brad Cox with Set Piece. Chad Brown's got a horse, Sacred Life. McCarthy's got Smooth Like Strait. He's probably going to go off as the post-time favorite. So it drew a very good field, especially when you factor in that $1 million purse. And we're going to talk about three horses that I like in this race. And first, we're going to start with the one that I'm going to be playing against, and that's going to be Smooth Like Strait. And I'm going to play against Smooth Like Strait because the last time this horse, actually won was all the way of May of last year. So this horse hasn't seen the winner's circle in a long time, and it's kind of gotten that case of seconitis, as it always just seems to find a way to lose the race and never get the job done. And I'm not going to try to take another second place finish at a short price. So for me, Smooth Like Strait could certainly win. I'm not saying, based on previous talent, it more than fits this race, but, just the fact that the horse has been a while since it visited the winner's circle, I think I'm going to play against it. And I'm going to start with a horse that I really like in this race, at least, for exacta purposes, if not maybe just straight win bet. And that's Santin, trained by Brendan Walsh, owned by Godolphin. And this horse did run really good last time. It got six, lost by 5 1/4 lengths. But if you go back to the race before, it won the Turf Classic at Churchill, going a mile and an eighth. And it was kind of a little late to the party as a 3-year-old. It didn't debut until September of last year, but it won its first two races. And I thought enough for this horse to put it in the Grade 1 Hollywood Derby at Del Mar. And it near about won that race. You can see it got second by a neck. And then, it came back in February, and raced. And that was the first start of the campaign. So you can, always count on some of these horses not really being fully cranked. And I think that was the case there. And then, it started getting on track, all the way to its Grade 1, Turf Classic win. And then I'll forgive the effort in the Manhattan. And I think getting back to Churchill, surface has already won over. I think it's going to do this horse wonders. And the Brendan Walsh barn has been kind of, I think, low-key heating up. I've seen a lot of these turf stakes races that he's had some 10-1, 12-1, 15-1s, and they keep, getting in the trifecta. So I think his barn is, low-key getting back on track again. And I think you're going to see that this Saturday. And that's going to bring me to the second horse that I like. And that's going to be Set Piece. And I mainly like Set Piece because of this 4-for-5 record at Churchill. I think this could be one of those horse for course type deals. And, the horse has been working out pretty decent the last, 3 or 4 works. And I'm not too big on its, it looked like towards the end of last year, its form was starting to tail off, as he, won the Wise Dan, at Churchill, and then got second in the 4-star Dave, which also happens to be at Saratoga this weekend. And then, in the Woodbine Mile, he got fourth, and in the Maker's Mark Mile at Keene, you can just see the form just starting to tail off. And then, at Pimlico, you're racing a dinner party, but he didn't really beat much in that field. And then he came back in the Forbidden Apple and, didn't do so hot either. So it's going to have to take a, return to form. But I think if there's ever a time for this horse to maybe get back on track, it would be, at Churchill, a track he's won 4 out of 5 from. So I think you're going to see decent, I think it's going to be higher than the 4-1 on the morning line. And if you get 6-1, 7-1, he's got to be a must use in some of your exotics, trifecta, superfecta, exacta. So he's certainly going to be my second horse in the race. And the third horse I'm going to kind of go with, not really for the win purposes, but for getting the exotics, it's going to have to be Sacred Life. And I think Sacred Life is one of those always shows up and tries, but it's not always good enough to get the job done. Like, I don't think this is Chad Brown's best horse in the barn. He did win the Monmouth Stakes last time, but, what did he really beat in the race? It wasn't nothing. And, you look at some of the horses he's beat in the field, and it's not really been nothing too crazy. But, it is Chad Brown, and, he's got a great ownership group behind it. So I think you certainly can't leave this horse out. He's always gonna come with a run. And because of that, he's definitely a candidate for trifectas and superfectas. And like I said, this purse is for $1 million. It's going to bring out the big boys. And I think Chad Brown can have this one ready to get a pretty sizable piece of that purse. I'm not saying win, but I think he's got to take a, run his best race, and a couple of these others not, have their best day to be able to, get that. But, certainly he's going to be there in my bets. And That's my preview for the Arlington Million. It's going to be a pretty decent, race card all weekend. You got the 4-star Dave at Saratoga. You got Gulfport running the Saratoga Special. Then you got this race, the Arlington Million. So, very good race card on tap for this weekend. And thanks for watching, guys.